Hey there, Icarus here, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness. What with it being the start of Spooky Month, I figured it'd be a good time to dive into the more eerie, more unsettling, dare I even say, spookier side of Doom modding. And what better to begin with than this here mod by the name of PoolDooms. Now, for the uninitiated, this takes its inspiration from a very particular part of the Backrooms, which in of itself is a series that deals with the concept of strange liminal spaces only accessible by essentially no clipping out of reality. The Poolrooms in particular are one such incarnation of the Backrooms, a very particular level of many that you could potentially visit. Now, for the purposes of PoolDooms, your main objective here is to locate the exit, and it'll only manifest if you find your way to discovering all of these switch locations. There's 5 in total, some more cunningly hidden than others, and your journey will take you through these quite architecturally impressive, visually pleasing places. I did feel a sense of calm to go along with the unease, but I think any underlying tension was somewhat diffused by the fact that reading the mod page for this tells me that there are quite literally no enemies at all if you play this on any lower than ultraviolence. If anything, it gave me good opportunity to ogle the water textures that are present here, which, they sure do look like water. Those are some extremely moist looking textures. It'll probably come as no surprise that this uses a whole smorgasbord of additional mods within it to achieve its look, including reshade. But one aspect of it that I can easily live without, and one that I personally don't really feel adds much to the experience as a whole, is the HD sprite pack, which gives the sum total effect of making pickups just look weirdly smoothed out. The same goes for the texture upscaler, which does a similar thing to the tiling. I prefer the crunchiness, if I'm going to be honest. I like being able to see the pixels, and any effort to upscale or smooth out that aesthetic to me just... it feels wrong. I don't like it, but I am willing to chalk that up to personal preference. It may not bother you. You may be perfectly okay with it. You may even prefer it. Either way, I reserve the right to judge you accordingly. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is an experience completely devoid of enemies if you play on anything other than ultraviolence, but naturally I wanted to see how it shakes out if you do. Now, in terms of encounters, very limited. Not a high monster count. Don't go in here expecting a slaughter map. That is definitely not what you're going to get. But what you do get is an effective little bit of tension, what with the enemies here functionally being invisible until either they attack or you attack them. The most effective out of these by far was hearing the sound of Hell Knights at the opposite end of this room and not entirely being sure when and where you were going to come face to face with them. Another good source of tension through here on ultraviolence is also the fact that ammo is in quite limited supply, so dealing with these things will absolutely require you choosing the right weapon for the job. But yeah, overall, by the mod's own admission, this is an experiment. And you know what? I think the experiment works. It proves that you can replicate the visuals of the pool rooms, and I think with the right touches, you'd be able to replicate the eeriness as well. For comparison's sake, I pulled up the demo of Pools, and in all honesty, I can see why this made a few waves when people played it when it first came out, because, yeah, it does steep you in the eeriness of the environment, the uncanniness, the liminality, while also playing a few good tricks when it comes to audio. Oh, and also the rubber duck. Screw that thing. How dare it. But yeah, if you're after a low-level, eerie warm-up to ease yourself into Spooky Month, or ease someone else into Spooky Month for that matter, why not stick them in front of PoolDooms? Just don't tell them anything about it. As with many things of this ilk, the less you know about it, the better. Now, I know a few of you out there will be going, but Icarus, this was nowhere near spooky enough for me. Fear not. I've got a whole month ahead of me, and trust me, I'll be digging a lot deeper. But in the meantime, if you feel like trying out this here mod, you'll find the links, as usual, in the description below. And if you feel like lending the channel a hand, why not become a member, or even a patron? But until next time, this has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.